everybody, and welcome to Life Chats with Maggie and Bunny. I'm Maggie.
And I'm Bunny.
How are you today, Bunny?
I am good today. The day we are recording, it is nice and sunny out, getting a little warmer, and I noticed the leaves growing on the trees. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you about our topic today. Are you relaxed, Bunny?
I guess.
Because that's our topic for today. How do you relax? To our listeners out there, we hope that you are relaxing as you listen to us. Have yourself an enjoyable cup of something, and whatever time of the day it is that you happen to be listening to this, just put your feet up if that's what you so do.
Unless you're driving.
And relax. Yeah, unless you're driving, maybe don't do that then. If you're driving, don't do that. And yeah, just relax and tell us, write to us, tell us how you relax. But until you do, Bunny and I will talk about what we do to relax. So, what does Maggie do to relax?
Good question.
Good question. Yes. I listen to meditations. I do crafts. My project at the moment, and I can, for those people who can see, I can show you, but my project at the moment is diamond art of my dog. And sometimes I can sit and do those little diamond art things for hours while listening to music. And suddenly the day has slipped away and my chores that I was going to do that day are still unfinished.
They're just on tomorrow's to-do list.
I think that means I was relaxing because I just pushed that to-do list to another day and carry on. What else do I do to relax? I go for walks. I like going and sitting by the water and just watching the water move. Sometimes that puts me in a state of relaxation. Sometimes I'll go for coffee and sit in a coffee shop, watch people.
Yeah, people watching is a good one.
People watching is a good one. I like to go on vacation to relax. I especially like to go on vacation just in case my husband is listening to this podcast. I especially like to go on vacation with my husband because I get his 100%. Well, no, not really, because I never get 100%. I get his undivided attention for a while when we're on vacation because he doesn't have as many distractions. I'd like to say he turns his phone off, but he doesn't. So that's why I never get the 100% attention. I do if the phone doesn't ring.
Yeah.
But we're doing things that we like to do. And work is somewhat off in the distance, even though it may still come about. But yeah, I like doing that to relax. I like vacations. What about you, Bunny? What do you do to relax?
It's so funny. I think I talked to you about this a few years ago when I went back on the dating apps and they ask you those questions of like, what do you do for fun? Right. So, and for me, it's sort of the same, like, what do you do for fun and what do you do to relax is pretty much the same. It's in the same vein of, idea. And then it was like, I was like, what do I do for fun? And I know that I do have the things like I love to watch TV shows and movies. I love reading books, so that's a big one for me. I do spend a lot of time on my porch, on my front porch, and this kind of helps me. Like I get to watch the squirrels, bunny rabbits, cats, people walking their dogs, cars driving back and forth, the birds, going to sleep and waking up or making nests or those kind of things. I like to go for drives for walk or for not for walks. I was gonna say I like to go for drives for relaxation. Walking to me isn't as relaxing. It's usually like a necessary thing, so to get somewhere. But I do know there are a lot of people like our friend Anne who loves to go for walking and hikes. And I do see a lot of people who hike up mountains. One of my Facebook friends right now is out east, or no, out west, at the Rockies, and she's hiking. But some people, like, she hiked for 3 hours to like get to this summit, you know, and then well, first of all, I'm afraid of heights, so I probably wouldn't go that high. But she like goes up there, takes a few pictures, says, "Oh, this is beautiful." And then you can hear the video where she actually asks her daughter, "Do you want to go to the next peak or should we go back down?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, like you've already walked for 3 hours." So like that kind of stuff is not like on the top of my list, but a lot of people do find that fun. Um I do love to go. I live in Niagara Falls. We live in the Niagara region. I was gonna say I live in Niagara Falls. I'm pretty close to the falls itself. So actually sitting and watching the falls is quite, and listening to it and just feeling the energy that's there is quite relaxing to me. I do art as well. So I do multitudes of different, I do cross stitching, crocheting, coloring books. I sing. I like to do that. Um, I like to watch my friend's band play live music out at bars. That's fun. Um, chit-chatting with friends. I watch a lot of TikTok social media. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But I think all of those things, I actually started realizing while you're talking that I built my life around a lot of relaxation things, you know, that's I don't know, that's good. I really like that I've been doing that. Taking naps is relaxing too, laying down, shutting out the world. And all of these things I found are my ways of meditating.
Hmm.
So I'm not so great with the silent meditation, or even sometimes the guided meditations, because most guided meditations ask you to visualize. And since I experience aphasia, which I can't actually visualize things in my inner sight, in my inner mind, I don't see the things. So it's harder to do it that way. I have to find different types of meditations and different ways to do it. So these things where I get lost, like you said, I get lost in the crocheting or the cross stitching or the coloring or the crystal art, which is also something I've been uh, doing lately. When I get lost in those, it could be hours where I didn't even get up to go to the bathroom or to eat food or anything. So yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And now let me ask this question.
Mhm.
Does the things that you do to relax change if you're stressed?
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean
Like I, for example, and I can only authentically share me because that's who I am.
right?
I sometimes have experienced anxiety attacks.
Hmm.
If I'm having an anxiety attack, the things that I would normally do to relax might not help me to relax. Then I
Okay.
need to do different things in that circumstance. So that's where I'm saying if you're in a stressful situation, in a trauma situation, do you find that those relaxation techniques change?
I would say that if the big buzzword that's in my life right now, if I'm in the middle of like if my emotions are dysregulated, so if I'm not regulated, then that has to be taken care of first. So if you know, if I was in the middle of a trigger or a trauma or something that was happening, definitely I would have to go into my body, calm that down, get everything, listen to my body, and get the needs taken care of there,
Hmm.
uh before I could do anything else. But yes,
Yeah.
like if there is something, so on when my son was coming home from school for the summer, there was, like, I was very excited, and so my normal distractions of like watching TV shows and stuff weren't working to, like, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to them. But I did feel like I needed to get the energy out that I had, the excitement out, and so I did it in a creative way. And so I started coloring in a coloring book because I needed to just kind of have my body moving and doing a creative thing. And then again, our friend Anne decided that she'd asked me if I wanted to go for a drive, and then we came and visited you. So that was great. That was wonderful. Like spending time with my friends is very relaxing, and so that did help even distract me a little bit too, and get to talk to people and make those connections and stuff. That was very helpful in that situation. Now, of course, I wasn't in a like uncomfortable, like the unwanted feelings. I was in the opposite. So it may have looked a little bit different. But it's still, yeah, it was still something that it was a high emotion, and the normal things, just sitting and, sipping on tea on my porch was not going to work for me as a distraction.
And I find that true in my own life as well, that there are lots of times that I have to strategically plan what I'm going to do to relax if I am in a stressful situation. If, for example, I'm waiting at the hospital for somebody who's having surgery, I have to strategically plan how I'm going to use my relaxation techniques to bring myself to that. So that kind of stuff does change based on a circumstance that you're in. Right. And I do know from clients that I do see, especially grief emotions, people who are grieving tell me that things that they used to do for relaxation, they can't do anymore.
Right.
That it's too hard. They can't, like if they were doing scrapbooking, they just can't get into that. And if they're doing crafts, they just can't get into that. Their mind is too going to think about sewing and stuff like that. Right. So I do think that that's different, and relaxation techniques have to change sometimes based on circumstances that we may be in our lives. And so for our listeners out there, I think that's important to talk about and to think about ahead of time before you need them. What are your relaxation techniques that work for you?
Right. For sure.
Because you are the only one who can regulate your body.
Right.
Well, I guess unless you do it medically or
right.
with a different drug of choice.
Right.
But even so, that's still you choosing that.
Right.
Because we can't rely on other people to help us to relax. As much as I like going on vacation with my husband, it's not him who allows me to relax when I do that. It's me.
Right.
And we need to be our own regulator and figure out what our relaxation techniques are. Because like you said, what I do to relax with meditation and mindfulness and all of that kind of stuff may not work the same for you.
Right. Exactly.
Because you don't do that the same as I do it.
Yep.
And for me to expect you to cookie cutter relax the way I do, that isn't going to work.
I mean, you could get ideas from other people, like you said, but but it's not always going to work for you. So it's good to like kind of broaden your horizon too. You can even look up things online. There's a lot of different things. I know that the one, I think we learned it through John Shearer, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like the find 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch. I can't remember all the things, the taste and smell. And so you do those things to bring you back to like the now moment if you're having a trigger response or you're kind of in a spin, and to bring you back to the now moment. And that will help you. That helps like regulate your emotions
and ground you and bring you back into your own body. Because sometimes when we're out of being regulated, we're not even present.
Right. Exactly.
We could be a way off somewhere else that is not the place we need to be. And so it's very hard to relax when you're not present. So it's figuring out first how to get yourself to be present so that you can relax.
Right. Absolutely. So taking care of your bodies, your emotion, those are the first things. And then after that, relaxing.
So that's kind of what we have to say today about relaxing. Bunny, your turn to tell people how to find us.
So like always, you can find us on Facebook. on our Facebook page, on Spotify, on YouTube, and everywhere else where you can listen to podcasts. You can also email us at adaboveandbeyond@gmail.com or visit our website at adaboveandbeyond.com.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.